BelsheBits here, where I break down the complexities of Midnight in Miami into manageable bits of information. In this bit, we're going to review everything there is to know about Midnight in Miami. When you first launch into Midnight in Miami, you come to this user interface, which shows you the option to be able to pick which server best fits the area you're in. So since I'm in the Utah area, the US East would be the best one for me. But you also can see these other icons where you can go into news, which takes you to the official communication of the team with the zines. You can also report a bug here, which will take you to the Discord section where you can report any bugs that you see. You can also log out up here in the upper right. And then apparently it's giving accurate time for your location, and it's just a really beautiful look, really simple, really sleek. So let's get in. Then after you've selected which server that you want to be in, you'll come to this screen, which the main hub here in the middle is the option to be able to pick between solo mode and multiplayer mode. You also get to pick which track you want, which is 9 Lives, Meridian Surge, Lunar Lane, Underground, and Seaside. You also can pick how many laps you want to do in solo mode. In multiplayer mode, you race 2 for each one, except for Underground. Underground, they have right now that you would race 4 times. You also then come down here. There are consumables within Midnight in Miami, fuel and NOS. And so you have to use your NOS wisely, because you will have to fill them up once the game comes live. Right now, it doesn't cost anything, but in the future will be part of the fuel economy and the consumable economy within Wilder Wills. And then moving on to the rest of the screen, here on the far left, it's kind of like all of your personal information. So you have your name, and so by winning or losing, you'll get a certain amount of points, and then you can move up in the rankings with the number of points that you acquire. Right now I'm at 0. I was at 1 and went on a losing streak, and I'm now back to 0. So yes, you can go back in levels. And then as you go down, it just talks about your personal record. Like right here, it says that on one time, my best lap time is 1:15. Online lives. You can also pick a different vehicle. Currently, the number of vehicles there are 4. There's Wantide, Wavon, Wambo, and the Wawari. A couple of my favorites, the race, are the Wambo and Wawari. Personally, my favorites. And then you can see that somewhere like Meridian Surge, I've won 7 times with the Wambo, Lunar Lane 4 times, 9 Lives 13 times. You can see I like to drive the Wambo. I race a lot with the Wambo. And currently with the upgrade on version 0.3.2, it actually got a performance upgrade, and so it drives a little bit better. So I really enjoy it. But yeah, those are just all your personal times. You can go from all time to weekly to daily. You can refresh, say you come out of a race and you don't feel like you see all of it, you can refresh it. You can see the rewards, and so you have your current balance. This is like the available, it's called mild now, but it's going to be wild. It's the available balance that you have that maybe you occurred and haven't taken off platform, right? Then you have down here your total mild, or in the future, total wild earned. So this number can easily be bigger than this number here with the mild balance. So your mild earned can be bigger than your mild balance. Well, since this is just testing, you can see that it's the exact same number. In the future, you probably will be taking out rewards, taking profits, whatever you want to call it, and these numbers will start to fluctuate and be different. Here you see the number of coins collected. There's not a lot of clear indication of like what these coins will kind of turn to. Will you be able to use those in like customizing a vehicle? Will you be able to convert that into wild? No one really knows the exact clear like use case on it, but when you race in a race multiplayer, you have this ability to be able to collect coins while racing. And so usually they're in not very optimal lines. And so you kind of have to go outside your line in order to get it. The nice thing about this is if you're not doing so well, sometimes you kind of go out of your way to collect the mild, or in the future the wild, and so it makes it does add that extra layer of like fun, of like I'm not completely out of like spending my time playing this game. And then you have your win and loss ratio. Again, this was a lot higher. I was had a much better win to loss ratio, but when you have so many amazing players that you only get to race against, like Mitch and Ever and Freestyle, and I don't know, I raced everybody. Super Madurik. I've just ended up losing. Even though I'm improving, so are all the Wilders. And so my win to loss ratio is not the greatest right now. And then moving on over here to the leaderboard section, you have where you can look individually as far as the one time, the 9 lives, and the all-time range. Or you can really customize this where maybe instead of the one tide, you want to look at all vehicles. So you look at all vehicles and you look at the race times. Or maybe you want to go in and you want to look at like a different race, all vehicles on underground, and you can see that you've got a lot of competition here. You've got like Mitch, who has all 4 vehicles in the top 10 on the new racetrack, and so a lot of people are having a lot of fun with that. Something else here, yeah, you just get to go in, see what you have. For instance, like here I am, BelsheBits, 8th place with the Wambo on Seaside. You can see your time, you can see your racetrack, you can filter it by the race, by the lap, by the wins. So if you go over to Wantide and you go to 9 lives, I can tell you already you have Wicked, who is Ever Wilder. He loves the Wantide on 9 lives. He just really enjoys it, and he's really good at playing it. And so you can see he has 24 wins on the 9 lives track because he's really good at it. And so you can just filter and play with this as you want. Maybe it's by level. Actually, you can't do it by level, but you can see that he's level 3. You can you can just see everyone's levels. And then moving on with the other parts of the interface, over here it tells you the build. So right now this is build 0.3.2. Over here you have those you have the different areas where you can hit the news and go to the zines, or you can report a bug, and it just takes you to your Discord and the location where you can report bugs. And then up here you can go into your settings, so you can go into whatever settings best fit you. Since I'm streaming a lot, I have it on high. Sometimes I have it on wild, and it's completely beautiful. You can change your audio settings, your game settings, if you like, a free camera or invert controls. You can change your UI if you want to take off some of these different aspects of the UI and the different controls. Like for instance, for me, I want to rebind my handbrake because right now my handbrake is on the right bumper, and I feel like it is more comfortable on my left bumper. And so something I want to do is switch that and then change my rear view mirror to a different button. I also have, so here I have the Razor Wolverine, and I've got like the extra buttons on the bottom. So I'll probably want to reconfigure to be able to utilize those and better race, utilizing like those bumpers, which is nice that you have that ability to be able to change that to fit your gaming needs. Let's see, what else can I show you? That's pretty much everything here. And then I'll just kind of show you what it's like to go into like multiplayer. So if you hit multiplayer here, you'll see it'll just try to find you a match. Right now, if someone else goes into another track and you're searching for a player in this track, eventually they'll just match you up and choose a track for you guys to race between the two tracks that you guys chose. Since, you know, there's no one there, or you can go into underground. So here, you know, we'll go into the new racetrack. We'll go into solo mode, and we'll just kind of show you a little bit of what it looks like going in. So you just have this loading screen as you go in, and then you'll just wait to get connected to your race. And then as you can see, you come in here, and on this UI, you can see the time. It's always midnight in Miami, hence the title of the game. So it starts at midnight. You can see the start of the track. You can see your frames per second and your ping up here in the upper left. And then here you can start to pick what vehicle. And one of my favorite additions that they added is every time you go to select which vehicle, it changes pattern and color on that vehicle. And so as you can see, as you go through, you can see here's the Wantide, and then you can see the Rorari, and then you can see the Wambo. And if you see that, like, I really don't like I call it the veiny like pattern, you can go back out and back in, and you can see it gives me a different pattern and color, which I think is a really small thing, but such a fun like little addition. And so my favorite thing is the hex pattern. And so I'm gonna keep going until, oh, that was it. But we're gonna try to find it for the Wambo here, and there it is. And so I have my hex pattern. Most of the color like combos I feel are like really cool. I mean, I really like either the gold or like the black and blue. But here you just select that this is the one I want. I like the color. All of a sudden you go in, and then once you come in, you kind of come in at a different perspective. Since I stream, I like to have a different view. So there's those 3 different types of views, and then you're off to the races. In the bottom right, you see your speed, your NOS, and your I'm not really racing, so I can stop. And you can see how here, right? You can see in the bottom right the amount of fuel that you use, and I've learned that that's based on time, the amount of time you're on the track. So basically, as long as your vehicle is on, then that will go down. You can see it just hit 98%. Then you have your NOS just above the miles per hour, and then it gives you the gearing of when it kind of changes the gears from neutral up. And then you can see my name in the upper left corner. When you have multiple, it tells you who's in first, who's in second, and once you have more, because they've already come out that there's going to be, we already have 1v1, then they're going to have 1v2 and 1v3, a total of 4 in a future build. I think it's 0.4. And so that you're going to be able to see the dynamic of like where people shift in those rankings between first and fourth. And then you have these indicators that tells you that you're going to be turning right. It'll also tell you like you need to slow down to kind of like help you out. On the far right, there used to be a running lap time. In 0.3.2, they took it out. And a lot of us, like, it was so strange to feel like lost. Like you felt a little lost not having that like running time. I don't know why they took it out. Maybe it was too much on the UI, but I think they need to add it. I'm okay with over here on the right. You know, they have coins collected on here. They have last lap time, best lap time. Like, I would like that they add running lap time on there, because then as you go around the track, right, you can see sometimes you indicate, like something I would do, I'm like, okay, I'm about to take this corner, right? And after I come around here, what time am I at? Usually I know when I pass these palm trees, I'm at like X time. Am I doing well? Am I not? Should I like use my NOS? Should I not use my NOS? But right now we don't have that. Right now there's no running times. The only time I'm going to have it is when I sorry, I'm driving and talking. It makes it a little difficult. You know, it just becomes very confusing. Something that I haven't mentioned too that I'll probably kind of see. Let's see if we can get an indicator. You can see right now in the upper right it says 10%. Those improve. Oh, right here. See this like little indicator? As soon as you go through this icon, then the percentage changes and it's 1% or another 1% difference, right? So as you're going around the track, you kind of know how much of the total race you've completed. Right now, out of all 4 laps, I'm only 11% through the entire race, right? So that's another part that you see while you're on here. But overall, this is really bad racing by Belshe as he's talking, but you can kind of see how beautiful. I mean, this map really shows the beauty. I mean, just look at these. I mean, you can see like inside this building, and it looks like it has that dynamic depth to it. You know what I mean? That it's not just like a reflection on a window, but there looks like there's depth inside these buildings. And then you can see the billboards all around, which are just incredible. But you like go by these buildings and sometimes you can get distracted because you're just looking at all the different billboards. And what I like to imagine is when Wyoming becomes alive, there's going to be more commotion. There's going to be more things going around. Oh, here's one of the cyber heist NFTs here, the astronaut man with the Frank Wilder logo on his back. And so there's just so much to look at. Behind you, you can see the Trinity Towers for Wilder Wheels. You can see other people's artwork. Like this was someone's artwork that they submitted to Wilder Wheels up ahead on the billboard, and they got their artwork submitted into Wilder World. And so it's just a really cool aspect. You can see the logos of partners on buildings. I'm like looking at all the buildings and not the racetrack, but I'm just kind of trying to show you the different things here. Here is Rebels. Don't know. I can't remember what Rebels is going to be, but here you have one of the Trinity Towers. Here you have a second one and a third one in the background. You have this Moto's billboard up ahead, and it's just really cool to be able to drive through. Here you have the Beasts, and you've got Sharky's Trivia. So shout out to Sharky, have his name here. But see, we're about to go through the lap. Boom. It took us 5 minutes to get through. But we can sit here and come here to Pasha Coffee and have a coffee. But that's a lot of what Midnight in Wyoming is. I just wanted to kind of show you a little bit of what everything was and kind of point out the different things you get to enjoy while racing in Midnight in Wyoming, and the different aspects and choices that you have, because it's really, really cool, in my opinion. I haven't taken the time. Here's another art piece here that is part of the Artist Guild. And you just got other billboards, other things to look at. I know West Wilder, he does a great job of just kind of driving around, looking at the thing and see the moon, right? The palm trees and I don't know. There's just so much to it that you can only really appreciate by being inside the world. And I wanted to take the time to show you the first game that gets us into the actual world of Wilder World. Like, this is it. Like, they've built it. They've just opened up little pieces of it to us. Soon you'll be able to get more. Wilders, like Wes Wilder, have escaped these boundaries and have gone around vast part of the city. And so it's just a really cool experience that if you're interested, you can go to Wilder Will's Discord and apply by filling out a form, and they'll give you access to the game so that you can test it and give your feedback, and be able to experience it with the rest of the Wilders. So for now, Wilders, those are my bits about Midnight in Miami, and don't forget that the best bits are the bits found in each one of you.